Welcome to the foam fan setup and operation video over this new foam syphon system. When you're at the warehouse, this is what you need to check for is on your trailer. We have two pieces for our tripod. We have our actual tripod stand, and then we have our tripod topper. Should have a rope on one end, a threaded screw to make sure it stays on tight, and then on the other should be a bolt and nut. That is where your foam fan will actually be mounted once it's set up. We need to make sure this bolt is here, otherwise we're gonna have to send a runner or we're gonna have to drive back to the warehouse to get a different one so we can actually set up properly. All right, you're gonna set up the tripod wherever the customer tells you to, wherever they want it. You wanna make sure all these feet are flipped down, not up like that. Make sure they're flipped down. One side will be a nut and a screw to lock it in. There we go. And then I'm gonna put sandbags around every leg. That way, this thing's pretty solid. You'll unravel your rope. Your rope will go in the opposite direction of where the customer wants the fan. Topper will just go on straight like that. Now, if you're doing just the foam fan itself, this height is okay. If you're doing it with the Gaga pit or the foam pit right here, of course you wanna get your tripod. This center pole needs to be as close to the unit as possible. That way your fan is inside and over top the unit. So your fan, all your foam blows inside, not towards the outside. So if we were doing a foam fan or a foam pit, we're gonna loosen this up. Gonna extend it up to about there, tighten that back down. And then what we are going to do is we're gonna go ahead and install our actual fan. Now, if you're not tall enough to be able to actually reach up here and do it, a trick that you can use, flip your dolly upside down, and there's your step stool. Inside of your foam fan box, you'll have the fan itself with a sock. The siphon tube and like the siphon hose with the clear tube attached to it. Very important that you have this. You have two separate 5-gallon buckets, and that's it from within the box. As for supplies, these are the foam powder packs. They should be in a black or a box, like a black grocery bag, or in a box on your concession racks with your name and the customer's name also on it. Now we're going to install our fan. I'm gonna loosen this bolt. I'm going to reinstall that bolt and nut with the fan on it. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna spin it. On both sides, there's these black hand screws. That'll make sure it tightens up. What I want is it to, for a foam fan, we want it at a downward angle just like that. If we're doing a pit, we want it to shoot out a little bit. So for this example, we're gonna say shooting it out. I'm gonna tighten up both hand screws and I'll make sure I rotate it out. Now, a common thing that happens with these foam fans, say you're at a kid party, kid's gonna grab this sock and try to pull it down. Of course, we don't want this tripod coming down and hitting the kid. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use this white rope that's on the back of this unit and a sandbag. Pop it on the ground a few feet away from the tripod. You have two different hooks, like hook points. You can use either one. I'm gonna use the longer one for this since we're in the taller setting. Then I'm gonna flip it down and I'm gonna bring it far enough, or I'm gonna flip it another time. That way it pulls tight and it's less likely for this fan to come falling forward during a setup. I mean, I can apply some pressure on it and be just completely fine. Kid pulling on this, it's just gonna rotate it. It's not gonna fall over now. Next step we're gonna do in setting this up is we're gonna install our water hose with our siphon clear hose on the end. It's just a quick connect. You wanna make sure these connectors always stay on. You should never have to untwist these or loosen these up ever. Is all you have to do. Pull that back, and then this will insert just in, and you should see that snap. You might have heard it also. just like that. While I'm over here inside of this fan, I'm gonna unvelcro the edge of this a little bit. I'm gonna look inside of here, and I wanna make sure this nozzle is pointing straight out. I don't want it folded over like that. It's very common out of the box, it'll fold over. We want it pointing straight out. That way, this is where the solution comes out of. It's actually spraying towards our designated area. I'm gonna reinstall my Velcro like that. And now with my hose and my power cord, I'm gonna attach my Velcro strips, make everything all nice and tidy. Just like that. Our 2 white buckets, we're just gonna put on either side of our tripod there. This connector here for the foam fan is very important. This is the syphon system that is in place to use these smaller buckets. What you'll do is you'll just hook your water source up directly to it. Make sure you got a solid connection. Don't forget to connect your power. Also on this power cord is a auxiliary power switch, so you don't have to reach up onto the foam fan. So there we go, got power, got water. If you see right now, oh, I think the fan actually turned off. Press my switch, make sure my power's on, and you'll hear an audible hum like that. And that's how you know if your fan's actually on. And you also have visual that your sock is inflated. This motor is completely fine to run throughout the entire day. It's just a little fan powered motor. That's fine. Once you have a 5-gallon bucket full, 1 pack will equal 1 full solution with a full bucket. So I'll go ahead and mix this all in, pour it all in first. And this foam solution is completely environmental safe. They've done all the testing, and we only use the best products. Now, once you have the powder all in there, I recommend either grabbing a stirring stick, or if you don't have that, it is okay to just stir it with your hand. Stir it around until you have it all completely mixed up. With your hand, you want to try to get rid of the chunks. Just want to stir it all the way. All right, after about 40 seconds to a minute of mixing the solution all up, what we need to do is we need to drop our clear siphon hose right into the bottom of the bucket. This metal spring is the pickup filter there, so you want to make sure that is at the bottom of your bucket. You might have to move the hose around a little bit. Make sure it's all the way in there. Now, to actually get the foam into the fan, it'll just use your water pressure off your hose. So now I'm gonna go ahead and start our water pressure and get it moving through. After a little bit, it'll just start shooting foam right out. All right, so once you have your foam going, you have all the fun with it. You just completely foam safe, body safe, all that. Tear free. Now, as for our solution buckets, 1 packet of foam will equal 1 full bucket. You always want to mix in the powder after filling that bucket with water. If you run the pressure on the hose a little higher, it will actually shoot out a little further, but you will go through the solution much faster. Typically, we can get about 30 minutes off 1 full bucket or 1 full packet. There we go. Now, if you wanted to stop this foam fan and say your party goers just want to take a break from the foam, all you have to do is actually turn off your water hose hookup. Just turn your faucet all the way off. The foam fan will continue running as the fan, but it will stop shooting foam. So now that I have turned it off, it'll slowly stop, and then it will just still continue with pressure onto the sock here. That's just the fan inside going. Now, if you did want to turn this off, say you're gonna not be out here watching the kids and you don't want them to mess with it, connected to the extension cord is a power switch right here, where all you gotta do, flip it off, and the foam fan will slowly wear down. And if you have any problems, you can always feel free to contact your delivery driver or our emergency line number, which is also on your invoice or your contract that the delivery driver handed to y'all. All right, we're gonna go over to takedown procedures now. I'm gonna unwrap everything, get everything loose. I can go ahead and quick disconnect, my my hose. Go ahead and disconnect the customer's hose from our siphon system. I'm gonna roll this up, but I'm gonna try to get as much foam out of there as I can. That way it doesn't end up in our boxes. Instead of reaching up there, I can actually go ahead and just lower this down to make it easier. Lower it all the way down. Make sure I tighten that screw back up. Then at a much easier level, take the bolt and nut off of the fan and tripod. Wrap up our cord with it. Fan will go into one side. Then with our buckets, if they are full, we'll need to drain them real quick. Just stack one inside of each other, put the hose inside with the siphon, and this just will go sideways, just like that. As for your tripod, disconnect your back rope. Need to leave the carabiner on the sandbag, unscrew your topper, pop it off. I like to go ahead and wrap up my rope so it doesn't get in my way or catch my dolly tire. Move our sandbags, loosen up the hand screw, tighten the hand screw back, and everything's good to load up back onto the trailer.